Hello, party people!
Hello, everybody.
Welcome back to our channel.
We're back for the Jeffrey Sokol Part 3 police
Part
interrogation.
3. Yep.
It's been a pretty fun interrogation, actually. I quite enjoy it. And I enjoy Detective Kelly grilling Jeff constantly, putting him down, making him
Yeah, he's been
sound...
really good about that.
Yeah, he's been really kind of nailing him as, a pervert and someone that has a problem, and kind of showing him that if he doesn't solve this problem, that bad things will come of Jeff's life.
He's doing a great thing of presenting that to Jeff, but Jeff is just not cooperating. He is just in his own world. He's thinking he's not held responsible because technically nothing really happened, even though we all know that it could have led up to that, and that there was no reason to go all the way.
Of course.
So I guess we'll tune in now and see what comes next. If Jeff caves a little bit, or if he continues to play this part of, but I didn't do anything though. I just showed up with pizza and I just wanted to hang out.
I thought the crime was having sex. I thought sex was the crime. So, yeah, he's been a bit of a dickhead and he's not learned his lesson.
Just a bit of a shit stain, but
Yeah, so let's see what D. Kelly can do here.
So you did more research today, just found out that you'd have to get more written consent by her mom to get married under 18. Fuck. Like, that's in frustration, right? I have some ideas on this, can talk later, okay? Still want to see you, see me, fuck yes, I'll be around 9, I've got pizza, your address, you got booze, I'm listening like, can we drink it? It's 13, man.
facts.
Kid, listen, no bullshit.
Another thing that Detective Kelly has done really well is shown him the mountains of evidence that exist against him.
Yeah.
And that he won't be able to get out of this. Like, that's kind of what he's trying to show him. Like, you're not going to get out of this.
Very good point.
And Sokol is just kind of like, oh, that's just speculation. Oh, you're not in my head. And every time that Sokol starts making some of this bullshit, D. Kelly here just kind of takes him down the list of things like, you brought pizza, she's home alone, you talked about sex, you want to marry her, why didn't you come when her mom was here, why did you come when she's away, she doesn't know you, you said that she's beautiful, like all this shit, and Sokol's like, yeah, but, you don't know me, and I know me, and just horseshit, man, just horseshit.
Pure horseshit, you're right. Good point, actually.
Yeah, and I think he's gonna do it right now as well. I think because what he's reading here is he's just reading more proof and evidence. Because Sokol is like, oh, you can read the messages, you'll see that I wasn't really interested. Like, if you read the messages, it shows that he was very interested. So I don't really know what his angle there is, but I think he just fucking forgot. He's probably talking to other girls too. Like,
he has no awareness of
he has no awareness.
Done, or the extent to the severity rather of what he's done.
Right.
So it's really interesting to see the lack of remorse.
No remorse.
And the fact that he still, like, it's been almost an hour of interrogation and he still believes that he didn't do anything wrong. Like, what kind of person do you have to be to not be able to hold yourself accountable, especially when you're already in this
terrible
zone of
situation.
Like, okay, like, there's no going back. Like, you're caught, you're done. There's nothing you can say or do to make this any better, so you might as well just admit to it. Or that's at least how I see it. I don't know. I
mean, I think if you're a good person, you just admit to it, but I think he genuinely
lacks
remorse and doesn't, like, I don't even think he's just fighting to fight.
That being, like, a good person.
He has no idea how much trouble he's in. No. He has, like, he thinks he's gonna walk out of this. He has no clue what's about to happen.
Now, I'm probably doing you a favor. You probably had a major league issue with this for a long time.
Major league issue.
And I don't know that you were going to rape her tonight.
Oh, God.
But you certainly were preying on her, right? She's 13, she's 14 years old. Are you going to drive down from Boston? You want to drink with her? You got a Cialis in your pocket. You may have one in your system.
See, this is what he's been doing the whole time. He's been kind of laying out the framework of why he's guilty.
Yeah.
And Sokol is still just like, nah, fuck that. He even laughs. He's kind of arrogant about it, just like he was in the like with Hanson, like.
Yeah.
And you want to bang the chick, right?
You want to bang the chick.
And you want to bang the chick, right?
Is that what he says? You want to bang the chick?
You work on. Nope. So even if she wanted it, you're drinking, you feel good, you gotta be horny, right? You haven't had a girlfriend in a little while?
I was not going to do it.
Why?
Because I was too scared.
Of what?
Consequences, you can see I said it a lot in our messages on Skype.
So you're gonna drink with a 13...
So he just admitted now in this moment that he was thinking about it essentially, or wanted to do it, but he was too scared.
This is the most that we've gotten out of
and it's
Jeff
a very
here.
minimal amount, but
It's
you can
little.
already see that he is like
he's cracking
breaking.
a little
yes,
bit.
cracking,
a little
exactly.
bit.
That's
not
a good way to
nearly
put it.
enough, but he's cracking a little bit.
Little by little. We'll see.
13-year-old girl, while her mother's in fucking Dallas, Texas, or whatever you said before, and you're worried about consequences? Like, seriously.
Yep.
Yeah, see, like that. Exactly. What are you talking about? Like, if you showed up to the house, then you're clearly taking a huge risk. Because, like, number one, what if it's fucking predator poachers, you know?
Yeah.
Which it is in some way. But, I mean, like, there's people that catch people like this and fuck them up, you know? Secondly, like, what if a neighbor sees you walk in, right?
Yeah.
Like, what if, you know, what if her uncle stopped by and you were in the house and there was a car in the driveway, you know? Like, you know, a lot of things could have happened here. Like, what if her mom just called one of her friends and was like, hey, can you drive by and make sure she's all right? You know what I mean? Like, and she comes by and there's a strange car in the driveway. Like,
Endless possibilities, truly.
So if you did this much, it's not a feasible excuse to say, I'm too scared to risk it. Like, walking into the house is way
Already
more
of
a risk than anything else. Like, everything you do past that point, you've already crossed the threshold of a risk, you know? Like, it's...
100%. Good point.
I'm serious.
We're adult men, dude. Talk to me. You can't be serious.
See, then you're
No, I'm being serious.
you're bringing that up again. You're basically insinuating that.
Because I'm not 22 and you're not 50 and I'm not 50 and you're not 20. Like, I'm 47, so like we're in the same realm here.
Yep, I understand.
And you're gonna drink with this girl, who you know is how many years under the age of, you know, being able to consume alcohol? 7, 8, depending on what age you're talking about. And you have Cialis and the whole sex, texting stuff going on. It's like, I mean, seriously, just own up to what you did. You're trying to still kind of keep it over here, and it's not there. You're not doing yourself any favors the more you act like that.
True.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So he's just
I mean, if
sitting
you want to
reading
get past
through
this
the
and
text.
get well and not be in this
Yeah.
position
Yeah.
someday, probably in another police department or worse, if somebody ever walked in on you, or you hurt some girl who, again, is 12, 13 years old. Just look at yourself in the mirror and, like, think about what you're talking about.
Yeah.
No.
You can cross your arms and hide all you want.
No.
You know what?
I know.
You weren't going to touch her.
No, I know that it looks bad.
It is bad.
It is bad.
It's
It's
not
bad.
that it doesn't look bad, it's horrible.
Yeah, the whole thing is bad. But
Yeah.
Cracking more.
Yeah.
He's cracking
He is,
more.
he
Okay,
is.
so D. Kelly is kind of like, you know, tearing the walls down.
Yeah, he is. He is.
So he's like, yeah, it is bad. Okay.
it is bad.
It's
It's
not that it
bad.
doesn't look bad, it's horrible.
Yeah, the whole thing is bad. But my intentions were not to have sex.
So you're going to drink with this girl, who, like, how much alcohol could she have drank in her life?
Let's take
So
a
she's going to act how? Probably like a basket case.
let's take a lie detector test.
That's going to prove what to me?
I don't know.
If you're a fucking
Let's go-
sociopath,
let's go to
is
court.
admissible in court?
I don't know. Let's go to court. I mean, I would.
What if you're a sociopath? Which kind of like,
That's
you know,
a fair point.
he does seem like a guy that, like, he's just so remorseless about this whole thing. Like, he does seem
Yeah.
kind of like he doesn't really, like, to an extent, it does. Like, I actually do believe that he doesn't understand what is being talked
the
about here.
consequence of what he did.
Like,
yeah.
he seems completely just like, whatever, you know. Like,
I
I
didn't really
came
do
and,
anything,
you know,
like-
fuck it.
And again, not recognizing the severity of what he's 44.
44.
Okay, meeting up with a 13-year-old girl, like.
And by the way, D. Kelly here is talking about alcohol. So this fucking loser right here was going to drink the girl's mom's alcohol. He was
didn't even bring his own.
Didn't even bring his own alcohol.
Now when you look at the other video we did with Alonzo.
Yeah,
and
Alonzo
he brings
brought
like 3 different types of alcohol.
Yeah.
And here this fucker comes with 0 and he wants to drink her mom's alcohol.
He was like, hey, does your mom have any vodka? Like, do you think we can drink it? Bro, you're 44.
Bro, he's acting like he's 13, also like her, and saying, oh, you know, we'll just drink your mom's alcohol.
Also, like it's fucking...
It's so fucked.
It's Massachusetts. I'm pretty sure, like, bottles of vodka are cheap, man. Like, I think you could just go grab one. Like, and he also brought a thing of orange juice, because he was saying to her, like, we can mix drinks or take shots, whatever the fuck he said.
But not even enough for the both of them,
and he brought, like, a little fucking, like, half liter thing of orange juice for them to drink. Like, he's such an inconsiderate piece of garbage.
Imbecile, like, literally.
Such a piece of garbage, man. He was gonna drink the mom's alcohol and molest her child. Like, that's beyond I know that the alcohol part is way less than the molestation part, but it just adds to the whole framework of what a dick. Like, he couldn't even bring a fucking $25 bottle of vodka or just a Mickey for like $12. Like, you couldn't do that. You couldn't bring a $4 like liter and a half of orange juice. You brought like the little one from Planet Pizza. You know what I mean? This guy didn't come fucking prepared at all for this, man. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. He was just gonna drink her mom's shit. Like, I guess
it really shows his like competency levels and just
fucking
like
loser, man.
Who he is as a person, like.
And what's his plan? What, her mom's gonna come and just see that a grown man's worth of alcohol is missing from her vodka bottle?
Yeah,
like if two 13-year-old girls get together and drink vodka, they're gonna take like 2 or 3 shots and get fucked up, you know? This guy's gonna have like, you know, he's gonna have like a bunch of that shit, you know? He's gonna be making drinks and he's gonna be feeding her shots. Like, a lot of it's gonna be missing.
Yeah.
She's gonna be like, what the fuck happened to half of my bottle of vodka? Like, where'd it go?
Yeah.
What an
idiot.
Cunt, this guy, man.
Swear in court that I wasn't planning on having sex with her.
No. Swear in court, you're a shit stain, bro.
Planning on having sex with her.
Right.
Maybe you didn't plan on having sex with her, but it would have happened if...
I disagree. I honestly disagree.
Why?
Why?
Yeah, again, let's go back to this whole thing, remember?
Just hang out, companion, a friend. Seem cool. I don't think there's anything wrong with like hanging out with somebody you think they're cool.
You want to, how could she be cool? No offense to any girl that is that age.
Well, I talked
cool
to her.
To you?
I talked to her enough. Yeah. To figure that out. I'm not denying that it doesn't look bad. I'm not saying it's not
terrible. It is terrible.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible if I had sex with her. I agree.
It's terrible that you were willing to drink and put yourself in that position and come down here probably for the intention of doing that.
Right, and I can't control myself. You don't think I can control myself? Have a drink and have some pizza and...
Yeah, you're really...
But that's not the point.
No, he's such an upstanding citizen. He showed up to a young girl's house. Well, you don't think I can control myself? Like, you've proven that no one can trust you. What are you talking about?
And that's beyond the point.
It all goes out of the fucking window when you do something.
You don't think I can control myself? Have a drink and have some pizza and... You don't think I can control myself and not have sex with her?
I don't know you at all. I would say you probably can't control yourself.
Based on the evidence we have, you can't control yourself.
He can't control himself.
Anyone that can control themselves,
as soon as showed up.
Anyone,
right?
Yeah, exactly. As soon as she said, "I'm 13, by the way," you respond saying, "Like, you shouldn't be on here," and you block her and move on, right? Like, immediately.
That would have been self-control.
If you can control yourself, you don't get anywhere near this position. Like if a 13-year-old girl is sending you photos of herself, you're already fucking things up.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
You're already lacking
You're
this
already
control
fucking
that
things
you
up.
said
Like, you're not supposed to talk to them at all, you know? Like, I'm just saying, like, this is many, many layers beyond you can't control yourself. Like, this is many layers. It's not, you know, the showing up is bad, but
it's
like...
It's already beyond that.
That's fucked, but, like, just every step of the way, just talking about her, like, pussy and if she shaves... And
talking
fucking
about marriage.
Have you had sex with anyone? Like, yeah, talking about marriage. asking her about blowjobs, talking like he was like talking about his dick size, like, oh, I'm not that big, but like what, like all of those are fucking too
Already,
far
like,
steps, man.
Exactly.
If you did any of that, why wouldn't you just molest her too? Like my expectation is you would.
Yeah,
you know, like why?
exactly. Like what's to say that won't stop you,
What the
right?
fuck?
If you've gone
What's the
this
difference
far
here?
already.
What's the difference? Like he's making it out like that's a totally different thing. Like no, it's the same realm. Like it's exactly the same.
Agreed.
So you got in the car on a Saturday night and drove all this way to meet this girl you've never met.
Exactly.
You chatted with about sex and pics and yada yada yada, and getting married, and getting her mother's consent so you can have sex with her, so it would be legal to try to, you know, circumvent the law. You think that's normal?
No, it's not. I didn't even told her that.
And you always light up like you're proud of that fact. It's disturbing.
I'm not proud of it.
It is disturbing. That's a good way to put it. It is disturbing. And look at this. Look at this shit-eating grin right here.
Yeah, right?
The shit-eating grin.
Zero feelings.
He thinks this is funny. He's like, bro, I can't believe you're fucking saying this, bro.
I'm acting this way for several reasons. One, because I'm probably too much shocked to realize this is even happening. I feel like that I'm dreaming right now. I'm not even
I believe that. Like, he's never watched TCAP, by the way. He didn't even recognize Chris Hanson.
Uh-huh.
You know, some of them recognize Chris Hanson.
Yeah, he asked, who are you? And
this guy had no idea who Chris Hanson is. He has no idea what TCAP is. He had a 0% chance, like, I don't know how to put it. Like, he had 0% of his mind thought that Chris or cameras were going to come on and put him on the spot.
That he was busted or anything
He had no fucking concept. Like, he did have a concept of the police, but he had no understanding that the cameras would be there. Like, he has to think about all that. He has to think about this conversation. So I understand that he's overwhelmed. Like, imagine, you know.
Well, yeah, I mean, like
I understand that.
Like,
and so I do
in a
believe.
State of shock, sure, but like.
I do believe he's in a state of shock here. And so he's just kind of like going through this interview, not even conscious of it. But that shows even. No, it's even better because it puts him in his like natural his natural habitat here because he's just being himself in defense mode. Yeah. It just shows how much of a cunt he is. Like,
show this is real. And two, I know what my intentions were. And
you could say that, and maybe some of what you're saying is accurate and true. I don't know, but
because I wrote on Skype, I wrote all these messages stating that I don't want to have sex. I don't want to have sex if it's going to be against the law. How can you not interpret that as
if it's going to be against the law?
So stupid.
What does that even mean? Of course it's going to be against the law.
Of course it's going to be against the law.
Right? Like,
he thinks that him writing, I don't want to have sex unless against the law, send. He thinks that matters more than showing up to the house. Like, what? One of those things is clearly greater than the other.
Literally.
You know, as me trying to obey, not trying to obey the law. How can you interpret that?
How can I interpret it? You're not. The girl is 13 years
old.
Okay,
keep going back to that.
You're trying to. I'll be blunt. You want to be able to bang her, and the only way you think you're able to bang her and have sex with her is by getting her mother to sign a marriage application or certificate. That's the only reason. You don't even care about the mother. In fact, the only reason you're at the house is because the mother is 1,500 miles away.
And I realized that is would have been virtually impossible.
As it should be.
Right.
God forbid it happened all the time. Where would our society be, right? All these creepy older guys would be going after these, middle school girls? Fucking 6th or 7th grade, and that's who you're attracted to? And she's like, you said she's mature, and she's got, she's really smart, and she's really...
I don't think I was going after her. I mean...
Well, you can drive and she can't, so she's not coming after you.
Well, but she's pursuing me too. Online.
Oh my god, man.
Oh my god, I can't believe he just said that.
You're an adult, man. The fucking onus is on you to prevent bad things from happening, man. It's like it's like you sit down in a car and you let the 13-year-old drive and they get into an accident and you're like,
but it was them too.
Well,
it wasn't just
she
me.
drove. Like she drove. Like what? Like you're an adult, man. You're 44, man.
Oh, this is fucked.
Yeah, with this little adolescent brain and intellect of hers, right?
It's not
And you're a guy that's my age, basically, and you've been through college, and you've worked for 20 years, and you've been married and divorced, and this girl's like what should have been maybe a product of your marriage, like a young girl,
Right.
12 years old, 13 years old. And you're gonna...
I'm sorry, yes, it looks awful.
Just say it is awful.
It is. It doesn't look.
It's not saying it looks awful. It is awful. It's kind of pissing me off, actually. It doesn't just look awful.
No, well,
If I walked in the library and you were leaning over my daughter's shoulder, talking to her, come to find out you're teaching her something about computers and everything's, it looks awful, but maybe it's not awful. Maybe I overreacted initially. This is fucking awful and disgusting, actually.
Good.
Yeah.
Period. You're a dad, reverse it, and I'm you probably want to strangle me, right?
most likely.
I want to bang your daughter.
Most likely.
Hello? Yeah, you would. You'd probably be over the table, like, trying to kill me right now. Not most likely either. Like, absolutely.
That's what I've liked about D. Kelly. Like, he's been very, like, stating his ground the whole time.
Very blunt.
He hasn't let up on anything, and he's always, like, pushing his shit back.
Yeah. And telling him how fucked up it is.
It looks
how
bad.
It
No, it
look
is
bad. It is fucked up. Like,
and he
that's
puts
how
it
it should
into
be, like,
he puts it into very, like, human,
perspective.
relatable situations. He's like, yeah, like, what if you were the father and I'm trying to fuck your daughter?
Yeah.
Like, really?
How
you know
would you
what I mean?
react? What would you think?
I know the sack of shit doesn't care about anything, but, like, anyone, when they hear that, like, you
Should
have to
feel
understand.
something,
You
right?
have to understand that.
You have a serious problem. And until you, like, admit it, you're not going anywhere. You're not going to get better. You're not going to, this stuff's not going to go away. I don't know, get it started. You need...
Really? You don't think this is enough for me to realize that?
I don't think you can
It's
help
not,
it, because you
though.
keep on going like this and saying,
He's
well,
shown
you
that
don't
it's
know, man.
not.
You think this is enough? Meanwhile, he fights back against it the whole time and just says I wasn't gonna have sex with her.
Against every single thing. Like,
So clearly it's
I
not
know
even
my
close.
intention. You don't.
It's not even close enough.
Is that?
I don't think you can help it, because you keep on going like this and saying, well, you don't know what my intentions were, until you, like, admit the truth of what your actual intention was. You wanted to have sex with a fucking 13-year-old girl.
I want to rewind him saying that.
Yeah.
What he's saying here is one, like, good detective work of trying to get him to admit it. He's like, admit it.
Yep.
So if he does admit it, then you get admission of guilt. But two, it's actually correct in this situation too. Like, you have to admit this shit so that you can help yourself. Because if you just keep saying, like, I wasn't actually going to have sex with you, then, like, you know, these problems are going to stick around.
You're delusional. Exactly.
You're delusional, man. These are problems that have to be resolved. Like, this isn't...
Delulu.
You didn't, like, steal a fucking 6-pack of beer. Like, you know, you tried to molest a child. Like, that's a... You know, you have to... You have to come to terms with that shit, man. Something in your life is so fucked up that your desperation and your just, like, you know, lack of remorse and care brought you to a position where you almost did something like this. Well, where you were gonna do something like this.
Yeah.
You don't know what my intentions were, until you, like, admit the truth of what your actual intention was. You wanted to have sex with a fucking 13-year-old girl. That's why the contract, that's why the mother comment about the signed contract, all those things, it's the only reason. Doesn't make a difference if it's tonight or tomorrow.
I'm being honest with you on this. I wasn't planning on having sex with her tonight.
You weren't planning on having sex with her tonight. How many times have girls said that about a date with a guy? I wasn't planning on having sex with a guy, and oh my god, he was so handsome, and he was really nice, and, you know, you weren't planning on it. I wasn't planning on, like, stubbing my toe, but I did.
What I'm saying.
No, because you're not being genuine. Like, you be truthful. Just say, if you said, I was not going to, there was no way in hell. I was dropping the pizza, having a slice,
Well,
saying, hey, I'm on my way to New York, nice to meet you.
saying all along is that...
You wait till the mother's not home, you have to see Alice, and you talk about alcohol with a girl who's 13? That's a great idea. Let's drink with a 13-year-old.
How much fun could it be drinking with a 13-year-old? Wouldn't you be bored? Like, wouldn't it be weird? Wouldn't, like, she'd probably just be
very weird.
She'd probably just be very sloppy and, like, would get drunk very quickly, right? Like, she's...
I mean, I guess that's the whole point, right? It leads him to the, I'm not intending to do this, but...
there is that.
But you're right. I mean, how fun can it be?
We're allowed to drink on Cialis. I'm just gonna check.
Okay, fast typer.
Moderate alcohol consumption while using Cialis is probably safe.
It's best not to drink, though.
Like, when it says
To avoid
moderate
possible.
alcohol consumption, that usually means you can do whatever the fuck you want, if I had to guess.
But then the next sentence says, but if you want to avoid possible
I mean,
side effects,
they have
it's
to
best
write
not
that.
drink.
If they wrote, like, feel free to do it and someone fucking did it, then, you know.
Yeah, then it would be like a lawsuit and whatnot.
Yeah,
You're right.
you have to, like, you know, it's medical shit. Yeah, like, he wants to drink with her? Why? It would be
Zero
more fun.
logic.
It'd be more fun to drink alone and watch.
On your own, I was gonna say.
He should have. You know what he should have done this night?
13-year-old.
He should have when the fucking plumber left. He should have went on YouTube and typed in "To Catch a Predator," Ohio Sting, and just watched the whole fucking thing. Drank a 6-pack of beer and a Mickey of fucking vodka. Got trashed. Hung out with his dog and ate pizza and learned
And
about
passed
TCAP.
out.
Passed out, woken up, and was like,
And
"Yo,
not been in this situation.
Chris Hanson exists and he catches people and this is wrong and I need to fucking, at least against better judgment, just not do this."
Totally. He could have saved himself that way.
He should have stayed home and just watched TCAP and
But
everything would have been alright for Jeff.
The way I'm thinking too is karma's a bitch, you know, and I mean, clearly for a reason, he didn't sit back for a second and reevaluate everything, but he decided to after. Here's the thing too, how many weeks did he have to sit and think about this before actually showing up?
2 or 3. Like,
Right? So it's not like
weeks.
Alonzo where he went after
No.
2 hours, he's like, okay, I'm going to hop in my car and drive 2.5 hours. Like,
No.
he had weeks to think about this. Mornings,
Nights in
evenings,
bed,
lunchtimes.
all that shit.
And he still decided that this
Still
was the
did
best idea. And
Yeah.
here, look where he is now.
Yeah, and that's kind of what he's not accepting here, is how much time he really had. And as you said, a lot of days and
To sit
nights.
and ponder.
You know
Is
when you
this
lay
a
in
good
bed and
idea?
you're like, yo, I fucking shouldn't be doing some shit that I'm doing.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
he had a lot of those, man. He must have
Yeah.
had at least 5 or 6 of those.
yeah. Or when you're laying
He
and
also
thinking
had a
about
2.5.
your day.
Yeah, or
right?
that. He also had a 2.5-hour drive.
Yep, that he could have turned
That's
back
a long
at any
time,
point.
man. That's
at
a
any
long
point.
time. At any point, you could just turn around, go home, and watch TCAP and drink 6 beers. Like, at any point, man.
I like the 6 beers.
Well, yeah, because he's coming over to fucking drink vodka with a 13-year-old girl. Like, what the fuck? You'd have a better party on your own, bro. Like, he has a dog at home. I'd rather chill with a dog than a 13-year-old. Like, are you crazy?
Exactly. Any sane, normal person would, right? But
Fucking-
clearly he's none of those things, so.
Like, shit stain this guy, man.
I'm gonna have sex.
Even if she starts freaking out and dropping all her clothes, you want no part of it.
Leave.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god.
I'm sure about that.
This is the guy that came in and tried to hug her right away and said, like, "Yo, you look good, you know, your hair looks really good." Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but he would get up and leave.
If
yeah,
he came in
okay.
and she was naked, yeah, I'm sure you would have walked away. Like, oh, fuck you, dude. Fuck you,
Not
dude.
convincing anybody.
Look at
of
this. Does this look convincing?
No.
What about this is convincing?
Nothing.
Man? This
Absolutely
144p
nothing.
splinter here is not convincing. Like, are you convinced by this? Is that convincing?
Not in the slightest.
I don't, by the way.
And this fucking checkered red shirt trying to look like he's in his 30s. Like, bro, fuck you, man.
Literally,
Yeah.
fuck.
I know you don't.
Fuck that guy.
Seriously, dude, come on.
No, that's hard to believe. Because, you know,
Because it's not true.
most guys all they think about is sex, and that's all they want is sex. Yes, we
In the literal, I know I'm pausing this a lot, but in the literal last video, he was like, "This is the problem with our society. Like, you know, everyone just assumes that men just want sex."
Such a stereotype,
you
yeah.
know, most guys all they think about is sex, and
Yeah. So that's like him counteracting
What the
what
fuck?
you just said.
So what was the
not
point of
that
the other
long
shit
ago.
you said? So you agree that the stereotype is real while also perpetuating it, while also fighting it? Like, come on, bro, get it, your shit together.
Get your act straight. Like,
they want is sex. Yes, we talked about sex, but that's I'm not gonna have sex with her and break the law.
Okay.
And that's obvious from my text messages.
It's not.
what's obvious?
It's not gonna have sex there. Fuck no.
You're still.
Not him holding his head. He is
Like, yo,
so fed up
I
with
can't
this.
believe you, Sokol. You can't believe his eyes, man.
I can't believe what's happening.
You're still caught up on this. You're looking for an angle so that you wouldn't have to break the law, correct? You're not like not doing the deed.
If
You
it
want
came
to somehow circumvent it so that it would somehow be legal or okay in your mind,
Yeah, okay with everybody.
right? But that was your intention. It wasn't like you, oh, I gotta wait till she's 16, 17. I'm not touching this poor thing because she's only 13 years old. That wasn't your motivation. It was like, I want to bang her. I gotta get her mother to sign her over.
To be honest, I had nothing to do tonight. I really just wanted to like meet her and then figure out something later. What you know, I was
Come
gonna
back,
do
man.
as far as that other stuff.
All right.
No comment.
I mean, you're painting me to be an evil person that doesn't care about anyone's well-being, and I'm admitting to you that it's wrong. If anybody who hears a story like this is gonna think I'm doing something wrong.
Yeah, because you
Yes.
fucking are, you imbecile.
Yes. I'm really curious where this is going. But yes, so far everyone that's ever heard the story has always thought you were wrong and you went to prison for how wrong it was.
Even you thought so.
They don't know all the facts.
Well, you thought so too, because you researched the
I don't
law,
know all the facts.
right?
Okay.
Yes, I was like researching stuff for things that I wanted to know. If I did this, what would happen? If I did that, what would happen? Doesn't mean
Christ,
If he
man.
researched, he
Fucking
wouldn't have
Christ.
decided to put himself in his car and drive over and do this. And this research, quote unquote, like I'm doing air quotes in this moment, like, what the fuck kind of research is that, anyways?
Oh man.
Like, just imagine looking at his history
You
right
shouldn't
now
be allowed
and
to
seeing the
Google
shit that he's
that.
researching. Like,
How are you even allowed to Google
and
that?
also, what kind of answer would you get, anyways?
What did
when
he
you think
Google?
about
How
it?
can I have sex with a 13-year-old girl legally? Like,
Without
did he actually
getting in
Google
trouble?
that? Are you
Like,
crazy?
what?
I was going to do it. I just wanted to know
What would the ramifications be if you served her alcohol?
what are the rules?
And she got hammered at home with you? Is that cool? Did you circumvent that?
I wasn't a letter hand.
You just gonna have a little vodka?
Yeah.
Yeah?
A drink.
Who are you in her life to even
That's
say that's
smart.
okay?
Well, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna be forcefully take the bottle away from her. Just to say, let's have one drink,
What the
Have
fuck?
a drink, people.
Oh my
They
God.
have a drink. They
This
hang
is
out and
spiraling.
it's pretty
He's
normal.
spiraling.
She's 13.
She probably had any drinks.
At 13, she
Facts.
got hammered at home. What the
I want to relist this whole thing.
I just wanted to know
What would the ramifications be if you served her alcohol?
what are the rules?
And she got hammered at home with you? Is that cool? Did you circumvent that?
I wasn't a letter hand.
You just gonna have a little vodka?
Yeah.
Yeah?
A drink.
Yeah.
Who are you in her life to even say that's okay?
Well, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna be forcefully take the bottle away from her. Just to say, let's have one drink, Have a drink.
This is so fucked up, man. This is so fucked
And
up.
he thinks that this is normal, what he's saying?
He's so okay with it. It's so fucked up,
Like,
man.
are you good?
It's
Clearly not.
so fucked up.
He is very delulu, as one likes to say. Very delusional.
This guy's really putting it well here, D. Kelly here. He's like, what are the ramifications for getting drunk? Like, what if she's really drunk? What do you do? Like, what if she's, what happens when she's drunk? What if she gets sick? What?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do with her when she's drunk? What if she acts weird? What if she acts erratic? What if she texts people? What if she,
What if she calls her mom?
people do a lot of shit when they drink, Like, what are the ramifications, Jeffy? Like, did you think about it? Like, no.
Clearly not, as he's sipping on his water.
And he's such a liar. He's like, I'll take the bottle away from her. Like, no fucking chance, man. This guy would want her to get as drunk as he can get her, man. Like, what?
Yep.
So long as he can get his shit done, man. Fucking pervert.
Drink, people they have a drink. They hang out and have a drink. It's pretty normal.
Is it normal when you're 13?
No.
With 44?
She's
You're old.
13.
She probably had any drinks.
At 13.
She said she has.
Do you see a psychiatrist or anybody?
Yeah.
You did it for what?
OCD, depression.
Oh, he does see a...
Psychiatrist.
Wow.
Psychiatrist or anybody?
Yeah.
You did it for what?
OCD, depression.
OCD. Depression.
What do you take?
Prozac.
Does it help?
Not sure.
What's your OCD? What are you fixated on?
don't want to get into it.
I never really saw this turn coming.
Yeah.
And I didn't think that he would ever be open enough to do this.
Yeah.
Like, to take... Like, this guy going into therapy is a bit... Like, you gotta be a little bit brave to take therapy and, like, you know, admit that you're wrong. The fact that this guy's doing it, I'm a little bit impressed by that, because he's such a scumbag in all other ways, so the fact that he can accept that he is, like wrong in some ways is kind of good.
Well, I also don't know, like, is he going to therapy? Because seeing a therapist and seeing a psychiatrist is different in the sense that a psychiatrist diagnoses you and prescribes you medication, but they're not going to sit there and listen to your problems. They don't really give a fuck about that.
Okay.
Therapists, like psychotherapists, for example, and psychologists maybe will also do that, but psychiatrists are very just about, like, diagnosing you and giving you medication. So that doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to sit and open up to anyone.
Unless D. Kelly's kind of using this interchangeably because he doesn't know, much like I didn't know until right now. So.
Maybe. There's a little bit of psycho ed for you who isn't familiar with it.
Hope he says something about it. Let's see what he says.
Yeah.
Because that's probably what we're talking about.
No, I mean, it's personal.
So what?
I just don't know if I go over that one. It's difficult. So, I mean, I went to an OCD convention last month.
OCD convention?
Trying to, like, work on my issues. And it's tough.
I feel for you. It's probably horrible.
I go through it every day, and it's tough. And,
in this moment, it's understandable. I mean, depending on the severity of his OCD, like it could be difficult to live with, but it doesn't take away, of course, what he's done. But living with depression, depending on how severe it is, like I said earlier, and the OCD, like, that's a difficult battle to have to go through.
Sure, but here's some facts. I mean, percentage of people with depression.
A very, very significant amount.
5% of world's adults and 5.7% of adults over the age of 60.
Of the world.
I mean, yeah, it says 5%. Like, if you kind of look at it within the age group, between 80 and 90% of people with depression eventually respond well to treatment. Or you could
just look in America. Maybe that might give us.
Well, it doesn't really matter because most people go undiagnosed. Like, how many people even get diagnosis and shit? The truth being is that a lot of people have this, and a lot more people have this than commit crimes like this.
Now, I don't know how, like, yes, depression and anxiety is definitely more common in individuals depending on, their experiences or, like, growing up, whatever. Sure. But OCD isn't an easy thing to deal with, especially if you're diagnosed. Because, the typical, I have OCD, but then actually being diagnosed with it. It's not. It's not. But he's kind of playing this card of, like, I'm depressed.
Like,
I have
it's the pity
OCD. Card. It's hard for me.
Like, I don't give a fuck that he has OCD. Like, a lot of people have shit to deal with it without hurting other people.
Of course. But this is his way of playing the card of, like, I'm struggling and maybe I deserve a little bit of leeway because I'm struggling. So we'll see how...
I don't think D. Kelly gives a fuck.
How D. Kelly responds, yeah.
Sometimes, I want to do things to distract myself and,
Seeing 13-year-old girls?
I have to go through it because, like, the OCD happens a lot when I'm by myself. It happens much less when I'm with people.
We should go into it.
So, especially when I'm fun, I figured I thought that tonight would have a fun night. And, you have to deal with OCD, or depression, or whatever.
So he's a piece of shit, and he just completely... Like, the whole story was just for these 15 seconds right here.
Oh, yeah, he's milking it.
So, especially if I'm having fun, I thought that tonight would have a fun night. And, you have to deal with OCD.
So that's what this whole tangent was about that we were just talking about. Like, the whole thing was to build up to this climax. I do things like this so that I don't have to deal with my OCD. And I wanted to have a fun night tonight where I don't deal with my OCD. That's what this whole fucking tangent was about. And I regret even thinking about it because that was all a waste of time.
I also felt like a little, like, as we were listening prior to this part, like, I felt a little, like, the tiniest part of me was like, oh, you know, like, he's dealing with shit. But now that I'm listening to him and the way that he's, like, milking it, I take everything that I said
No,
back.
I don't. I never give a fuck because I knew he's a piece of shit, and I know that it's not related. I sympathize with everyone going through shit, but I think that most people are going through shit, especially people between the age of, 15 and 30. I think 80% of people in that age range are going through shit all the time because no one knows how to figure their life out, and people are comparing themselves to other people and don't have, intrinsic happiness. Most people are going through shit. Very few people do extreme things. What he said here, let's just re-listen to this a little bit.
So, especially if I'm having fun, I thought that would, tonight would have a fun night, and, you have to deal with the rest of the day.
That's a classic way that people justify alcohol abuse or drug abuse, things like that. Well,
It's
if
just how I
I'm
deal with it.
if I'm drunk tonight, then I don't have to think about my feelings. If I'm drunk tonight, I don't have to remember my past. If I'm drunk tonight, I don't have to think about my breakup, all that shit. That's how the fuck did he manage to use that excuse for
Yeah, the correlation between what he
what
did
he's
and
trying
what
to
he's
do? It's so not related. It's so not related. And yeah, like he's just a sack of shit. And he found like a little angle here. He saw D. Kelly gave him the tiniest bit of remorse, and instantly he took advantage of it.
Yeah.
Just very scum.
Let it go, shit, whatever.
Do you fixate on either, porn or girls or younger girls? Is that ever the focus of your... No? You sure? You're kind of close.
It's kind of interesting how D. Kelly didn't even address any of that because he came to the same conclusion as we did. Like,
Yeah.
oh, he's just trying to weasel his
Yeah.
use
he
of
just,
anxiety
kept
into this
going.
or whatever
He didn't
OCD.
even address it, right? Because
'Cause
there's nothing really to address. Like, that's his tactic.
What a fucking sob story. Like, oh, I have OCD and, it
I'm
just
depressed.
bothers me. And I thought
Yeah.
tonight I could just have sex with a child and I wouldn't have OCD.
And distract myself.
Oh my God.
No? You sure? You're kind of closing your eyes and shaking your head as if it is.
Yeah, it's never happened.
Okay.
I've never pursued a girl that age.
He can't say never because he has done it. So
Yeah,
once you do it,
Not never.
a wise man once said, once you've done it, you cannot say that you've never done it. So
What's that from? It's from a TV show, isn't it? Is that from Fairly Odd Parents?
is it?
It's from one of those children's shows. We just watched it the other day.
Oh, I don't know. I was thinking of like an older man that is
Once you've done it,
you can't say you haven't.
you haven't done it. It's from like a kid's show, isn't it?
Is it?
Oh man, these are not the
I was thinking about
KB Mike. Oh, this is not. Oh, this is not what I was looking for. Lana Del Rey.
Oh god.
Okay, I don't know. I remember we were watching some kids show and they said I've never done that. Wait, was it fucking SpongeBob and Patrick when he's showing him fun? I've never had fun before. I've never felt this before. Ah, fuck. Who gives a shit?
Maybe. That's pretty deep. I was just thinking about like a friend that has once said that to me and that just stuck out.
That's good enough.
Stood out for me, but stuck out.
Is there anything on your phone that might, show us any other younger females that maybe you communicate with, whether it's texting or calling or...
Okay, so this looks like it's going to open a whole can of worms. I think we're going to have to cut this video off and make the rest of it tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Does that sound
I
right?
think that's an okay spot to pause.
So we're gonna do this as our part 3? Part 3? Okay.
Part 3.
And we're gonna finish up part 4 tomorrow.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of this really goes right down to the end. It looks like they actually just talked the whole way through, so that looks pretty good.
So we'll have another
okay, tomorrow morning we're gonna finish
30
this shit up.
Yeah.
Thanks for viewing. This is actually a very interesting.
Yeah, I think it I personally kind of thought it was a little slower.
Yeah.
Up until like the first let's say 45 minutes, 50 minutes, but now it's getting a little juicier. It's going
There's
more talk happening. He's opening up, so yeah, stay tuned to the next one. Thank you for watching as always. Thank you for helping us grow our little channel together, and Stay tuned for more.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
Good night.
Peace.